Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him.
And the opponent is a man that I have beaten before in Max Holloway. So he is an established fighter, an accomplished fighter, former UFC world champion, multiple time, former UFC BMF world champion.
Yeah.
So this is a quality opponent.
Indeed.
And our last bout was martial arts mastery by yours truly. So I plan on doing it again. I plan on showing my growth, you know, and my improvements in there.
This Conor McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same thing.
How could
you
it
just
be?
can't.
He hasn't fought in 5 years,
That's
right?
exactly it.
It's been 5
and
years.
But that's the problem.
It might be more.
Because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6, I think.
It might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be.
I think it's
Meanwhile, McGregor is fully focused on preparing for a potential rematch with Max Holloway. He says his training camp has been intense and believes his experience against Holloway will help him deliver a much sharper and improved performance this time. Speaking about his return, McGregor expressed confidence that the big fight is getting closer, saying the excitement surrounding his comeback feels like music to his ears. After nearly 5 years away from competition, he believes the break has left his body fresh, his mind sharp, and that he is ready to make a strong return to the octagon.
Got Conor McGregor making his return. What was your reaction when that was announced?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Big name for our sports, and but he have tough opponents. Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him.
McGregor, meanwhile, is fully focused on preparing for a potential rematch with Max Holloway. He says training has been intense and believes his familiarity with Holloway's style will help him deliver a sharper and more improved performance than in their previous meeting.
The big fight is coming. Let's cheers to that. The Mac is back, baby. Let's go. It's like a musical. Music to my ears it is. Rob, you know, I'm out so long, 5 years. My body's fresh, my mind is sharp. I'm ready to come back. I've got a great opponent. I've got a great deal off the UFC. I'm very, very happy. They honored me, finally, I can say. So, July 11th. And the opponent is a man that I have beaten before in Max Holloway. So he is an established fighter, an accomplished fighter, former UFC world champion, multiple time. So this is a quality opponent.
Indeed.
And our last bout was martial arts mastery by yours truly. So I plan on doing it again. I plan on showing my growth, you know, and my improvements in there. So I'm very, very excited for it. Preparation is going very well. We're living, breathing, and sleeping in the gym. Literally.
Here we are.
I live in the gym. I have a base here, and I have a base in my coach John's gym, and I go between them both. So training's going very, very well.
Max Holloway, however, is unfazed by the move to the 170-pound division. He dismisses any concerns about the weight difference, saying true fighters adapt to any challenge. While showing respect for McGregor, Holloway made it clear that he is more than ready to face him once again inside the octagon.
My thoughts on the fight being at 170 was like, who cares? You know, the weight is just a number, you know. Real gladiators back in the day, they didn't walk around with a scale. You show up and you fight, and I'm a fighter. That's what I do. Open weight class, whatever weight class, I'm glad I get the shit octagon.
Max Holloway also brushed aside the significance of his first fight with Conor McGregor, saying they were both young fighters, still trying to make a name for themselves. While he acknowledged McGregor's huge impact on the sport, Holloway believes a rematch would be a completely different challenge and made it clear that this time, McGregor will have to deal with a far more experienced version of him.
13 years, and this question is asked a lot, like, do you watch it? Can you take anything away from it? And the answer is no. It's 13 years. We was two young, scrawny guys trying to make our name for ourselves, and now we're here. You know, he did what he did. He changed the sport in a major way. Glad to have him back. But unfortunately, he got to see me, you know, and 5 years is a long time, but I'm getting ready for the best Conor McGregor there is.
McGregor's mindset has clearly changed since suffering his leg injury. He says the experience taught him to prepare not only for the best-case scenario, but also for the toughest moments inside the cage, rather than focusing only on success. He now trains to overcome adversity, believing that survival, resilience, and adaptation are just as important as flawless execution.
I built my career on prediction. I told these fighters that I was facing what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, and when I'm gonna do it. And the perfect scenario. And then as I went on. And only that. And I would obsessively visualize the most perfect scenario. And 99% of the time it happened. And then that one time it didn't, or that 1% it didn't happen. So now as I've become a lot more experienced in the game, I actually work backwards towards the perfect scenario. So I have had a limb break inside the octagon. So now I must have an answer to that.
After suffering serious injuries in previous fights, Conor McGregor now prepares for every possible scenario inside the cage. He believes those experiences have taught him that a fight is never truly over as long as a fighter can keep pushing forward and continue competing.
I have a whole selection of responses to the worst case scenarios. Now, not that I sit and dwell on them, or overthink them, but I just have them. So if the ankle goes, if the knee goes, if the shoulder goes, what's my response? Because the fight's not over.
No.
Until if you give, it's over. So if you have a maneuver, you know, you can outlast and you can survive in there and then get towards the victory. So I have found, as I have gotten more experience in the fight game, to work my way backwards from the worst case scenario to the best case scenario.
As the anticipation continues to build, fans are also looking forward to the promotional battle between the two stars. Conor McGregor is widely regarded as one of the greatest trash talkers in UFC history, and Max Holloway admits he has no problem responding if McGregor brings that same energy to the build-up. Although Holloway is usually calm and respectful, he says he is more than willing to match the intensity when the moment calls for it.
Conor McGregor is Conor McGregor, and I think he'll be respectful to a certain point, but dude got the gift of gab. So if he start talking, you might actually see a little bit of Wine-Eyed Boy come out of me for this one, because not many of you guys know. If you guys want to talk, I love shit talking too. I just don't do it too much. But if you want to go that route, and I love the tussle. I'm not looking for a long time in there. I'm looking for a big finish. International Fight Week. It's gonna be a huge crowd, huge fight, and I want to leave it with a bang. We get to find out Saturday night. So I'm excited. I can't wait. Tune in July 11 live on Paramount Plus.
Several fighters have also shared their thoughts on the potential matchup. Charles Oliveira praised Conor McGregor for his impact on the sport, giving him credit for helping elevate MMA and bringing worldwide attention to it. Oliveira acknowledged that McGregor played a major role in expanding the sport's popularity and taking it to a whole new level globally.
Conor McGregor, né? Sempre fazendo a dele, né? Querendo fazer, mostrar. É um cara que eu admiro pelo que fez, pelo esporte. Né? Não gosto do jeito que ele fala, do jeito que ele vende, mas é um cara que sabe vender bastante a luta, sabe colocar o nosso esporte cada vez mais alto. E aqui estava com certeza na coletiva de imprensa. E aí estava tumultuando como sempre.
Dustin Poirier believes Conor McGregor could still be a dangerous opponent for Max Holloway if he is able to regain his timing after returning from injury. He says McGregor's power is unlikely to have faded, but believes his movement and overall rhythm will be the key factors in the fight. Poirier also pointed out that Holloway has been knocked down several times in his recent bouts.
The thing that I think the punching power is going to be there regardless. Conor's going to come back from the injury and still have that natural punching power. What the question for me is the timing, the athleticism, the movement, all those questions need to be answered. I don't know. You know, we haven't seen him, so I don't know. If his counter punching and his timing is anywhere near what it was, he has a chance to beat Max, you know? Yeah. Look, I love Max, but the career he's had and the longevity he's had, he's touched the canvas in his last 3 fights more, you know, that's more than he's touched in his entire career. I just think time's catching up with him. He's still a young man, but he's taken a lot of shots. And Conor can punch, man. You know, like, no matter how long he's been out, he still has the great equalizer, and that's power. Some guys are born with.
On the other hand, Usman Nurmagomedov is doubtful that Conor McGregor will successfully return to competition or make a fight with Max Holloway a reality. He believes McGregor's lengthy absence from the sport is a major disadvantage, but admits that if McGregor does return with a victory, it would create massive excitement and once again bring significant attention to the world of MMA.
Because we mentioned the Irish. I mean, Conor McGregor. 1, do you think he actually makes it to that fight? And 2, you think he beats Max Holloway?
First of all, I don't believe he's gonna come. He's gonna be a fight with him. This is first. Second, if he will, I don't sure he's gonna beat, because 5 years to staying away from this sport. This is like too much. It's very long. And third one, if he will beat him, this is good for MMA. He's beginning talk, and more fans come back.
You
Why
said
not?
Conor winning is good for MMA.
Yes, if he will win, for this is good for.
I agree.
Yes.
I mean,
That is what it is, brother. This is
the stars.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria offered a detailed breakdown of the potential matchup, predicting it would remain a stand-up battle with little to no wrestling involved. He believes McGregor is evenly matched with Holloway on the feet, and even favors him to win the fight. Topuria also added that a McGregor victory could pave the way for even bigger opportunities and blockbuster matchups in the future.
Obviamente, Max está en mucha mejor forma, ¿no? O sea, es una pelea bastante complicada para que la ganara Conor. Digo, Max ha seguido compitiendo en máximo nivel, peleó contigo por el título.
Va a ser un combate de pie, va a ser un combate yo creo que puramente de striking, en donde no veremos nada de lucha ni de suelo. Conor, no te creas que es mucho peor que Max. Se van a dar como dos gatitos, de que van a estar ahí tocándose, aruñándose, pero no sé, yo creo que le va a ganar Conor, ¿eh? De verdad lo creo. Y no creo que va a ganar Conor. Conor ya pelearon una vez, le ganó, y esta vez puede ganarle, debe de ganarle. De hecho, yo creo que si me preguntaras quién quiero que gane y quién me conviene a mí más que gane, es Conor, porque si gana y después hace una pelea más, pudiéramos acabar teniendo ese combate.
Shifting the discussion to McGregor's overall return, Topuria argues that a comeback fight at this stage would offer very little long-term value to the UFC, serving primarily to benefit McGregor rather than helping the sport grow. He believes the matchup would do little to attract a new generation of fans, as both competitors are no longer viewed as key figures shaping the future of mixed martial arts or leading the next era of the UFC.
Es una pelea de mierda. Conor. A ver, le hace bien al deporte para mí. Yo personalmente pienso que al deporte en sí le hace bien, porque mucha gente, quieras o no, lo ve pelear y de verdad hay que reconocer lo que es una de las estrellas más grandes que tiene la UFC. Y no te lo decía de broma, de verdad Conor lo considero como una de las estrellas más grandes, pero es como que tiene sus pros y sus contras, ¿no? Es como está en el descenso y al único que le va a sumar ese combate ya no es a la UFC, es a él. Porque no creo para nada que cree un público nuevo, no creo que cree una afición nueva, que tenga seguidores nuevos que como que lo sigan y apoyen su recorrido y lo que vaya a pasar en el futuro, porque ya es pasado.
Despite all the excitement surrounding the possibility of his return, Ilia believes most fans no longer expect Conor McGregor to come back as a dominant world champion. Instead, they now see him as a legendary veteran and one of the sport's biggest stars, rather than someone who represents the future of MMA. Even so, he acknowledges that McGregor's comeback will generate plenty of excitement among longtime supporters and expects him to return with the same charisma, confidence, larger-than-life personality, and entertaining antics that made him one of the most unique and recognizable figures in mixed martial arts.
El compañero de baile que tiene también es del pasado. Es como que realmente el público no tiene una, como diría, una expectativa en que se conviertan el día de mañana otra vez en campeones del mundo, que son chavales jóvenes que tienen ese recorrido, ¿no? Pero bueno, al final del día es Conor, vuelve, mucha gente que lo ha seguido hasta ahora estará encantado con su vuelta, a ver cómo vuelve. Yo, por lo que lo he visto en todo este tiempo, es que ha estado entrenando con él, nunca sabes. Estoy seguro que intentará dar el mayor show y hacer todas sus payasadas, que son muy divertidas, la verdad. Es único, le sale muy bien, a él le queda bien. Y nada.
As the discussion continues, Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo point to McGregor's rare ability to promote and sell fights at the highest level. They explain that he can effortlessly switch between a respectful competitor and an aggressive trash talker, transforming virtually any matchup into a global spectacle. They also emphasized that McGregor has consistently elevated every opponent he has faced by creating compelling storylines, building intense rivalries, and generating excitement that extends far beyond the fight itself.
McGregor and Holloway too is really happening. How does he sell this fight?
I think he's gonna hype it up. That's the beauty. Conor has the ability to be a good guy or a bad guy, and people are gonna love him too.
You hit the nail on the head. Conor has the ability to flip-flop. Comes out, I'd like one of your hot sauce, please. I'll donate to your charity. Donates to his charity, breaks his leg. Your wife sent me DMs. You see them flip-flop.
I made everybody who he's fought. Khabib may not agree with this, but it was the elevation of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
That fight did wonders for both guys. Khabib is not Khabib without Conor. Conor is not Conor without Khabib, without suffering that.
Nick Barnhill describes the matchup as a true full-circle moment between two fighters who have both evolved into some of the biggest stars in the sport since their first encounter. He considers it an ideal return fight for McGregor, but believes its overall success would depend largely on McGregor bringing back the sharp, fearless, and unapologetically disrespectful promotional style that once made him the most captivating figure in combat sports.
Conor McGregor coming back is so exciting for me, and if there's anybody that deserves red panty night, it's Max Holloway.
100%.
The best is blessed. It's just so cool for these full circle moments to come around. But it's like, all right, these guys fought so long ago. They wound up all being pretty damn good and pretty big stars. It's really cool that we can see a guy like Max Holloway get this opportunity to fight Conor McGregor. The only issue I have is how will they promote this, right? Like, if there's only a couple opportunities to see Conor McGregor fight and moreover sell a fight, we need to see that vintage sharp tongue firing off at somebody. I don't know how much disrespect he's going to send at Max Holloway.
He likes Max, yeah. He's a fan of Max.
And, you know, I definitely don't want to see a scenario where Max Holloway beats him and then he gets nasty on the microphone sitting on the ground with Joe Rogan. I would never say that I'm disappointed with the matchmaking because I think this is actually the reasonable and right fight for Conor next. It sucks to me that Charles Oliveira has the BMF belt because this tells me that they were expecting Max Holloway potentially win that fight and then be able to put Conor McGregor in a title fight, a BMF title nonetheless, but still a title.
As the debate continues, Carlos Prates leans in favor of Max Holloway, pointing to his consistent activity, recent performances, and overall momentum as the key factors that could determine the outcome. He believes McGregor's lengthy layoff would eventually become a significant disadvantage, especially if Holloway is able to maintain a relentless pace and force a high-tempo fight from start to finish.
By the way, we did get the announcement that Conor McGregor is fighting at 170, your weight class, against Max Holloway. And I know there was some talk of maybe you fighting Conor. Do you think he can beat Max at 170?
No, I think Max is gonna win. I'm super fan of Max Holloway, you know, like, but he have like he fighting more, you know, like McGregor is 5 years without fight.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna beat Max Holloway.
Even though they're fighting at 170 and Max has never gone there?
No.
Doesn't matter.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Brendan Schaub describes McGregor as the greatest showman the sport has ever seen, expecting the build-up to the fight to be incredibly entertaining regardless of the final result. However, he also questions whether McGregor can still create the same level of promotional buzz and worldwide excitement after spending years away from competition and suffering several high-profile defeats that have changed how many fans view him.
The thing is it fun, or is he going to go personal against, and like Max Holloway's a family guy, good dude, so is he going to go super dirty and like personal? Like he even did that with Dustin Poirier and his wife. It's like, I don't know what lane he can take with Max. Also, he's been out for so long, and you know, even the Dustin Poirier build-up, he talked all this shit, and they see his leg fall off. So I think we're thinking of the days when he was talking all that, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, all that. That's all fine and dandy when you're winning. When you haven't won in 7 years, it's a tough sell, man, as far as that hype. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking the matchup down further, Schaub describes it as a stylistic nightmare for McGregor, pointing to Holloway's exceptional durability, relentless output, and physical strength at welterweight as significant advantages. He believes that if the contest extends into the later rounds, the fight will increasingly favor Holloway, largely because of the lingering concerns surrounding McGregor's cardio, endurance, and ability to maintain his effectiveness over a prolonged battle.
Stylistically, it's a horrible match.
Max is going to be so strong at 170, being able to eat whatever, you know, I mean, within reason,
but being able to eat whatever he wants, being able to be as strong as you've ever seen him.
I think the thing to think about is, Max Holloway's always been Mr. Durable, kind of like Nate Diaz. And once that goes, it's a sad, sad thing to watch. So it's like, the questions are, is Max Holloway still Mr. Durable? We know if this fight goes in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, it favors Max. Conor's never been a cardio guy. It's just not his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if this goes 4 and 5, that's going to definitely favor Max. Max has been active. Like, I would put Conor at like a plus 500. I think he's a plus 300. I put him at plus 500. It's a very, very tough fight.
Tim Welch also expresses concerns about the matchup being contested at welterweight, viewing the weight class as another challenge for McGregor at this stage of his career. He points to McGregor's extended period of inactivity as a major risk factor, while emphasizing Holloway's high-volume striking, proven durability, exceptional conditioning, and relentless pace as the key advantages that could ultimately shape the outcome of the fight.
The fight's at 170. Conor's been out for 5 years, half a decade. Not the best fight to make, in my opinion. Max Holloway is he's one of the most slick guys. He fights southpaw, he fights orthodox, he'll stomp your legs, he'll teep your body, he'll piece you up with his punches. 5 rounds. I know McGregor and those guys were pushing for 3 rounds. Max Holloway is the king at 5 rounds. I know some of his sparring partners. He's got some good southpaw sparring partners that throw their 2 nice and slick and that faster than probably McGregor does at this point. How will Conor's cardio hold up? 37 years old, and we're jumping straight into a 5-round main event.
Welch even questioned the matchmaking for Conor McGregor's return, arguing that opponents such as Paddy Pimblett or Jack Della Maddalena would have been more appropriate and realistic tests at this point in his career. Despite that, he still favors Max Holloway to control the fight over the course of 5 rounds, believing Holloway's relentless pace, outstanding durability, and consistent pressure would gradually overwhelm McGregor. He suggests that McGregor could struggle to keep up with Holloway's rhythm and sustained output after spending so much time away from active competition.
And I just feel like they could have made some sweeter fights. I feel like they could have made some sweeter fights. I feel like Conor McGregor versus Paddy Pimblett could have been a little bit more competitive. We saw Paddy. The Paddy that fought Gaethje, put that Paddy in front of McGregor. How does it go? How does it go? Or what's your thought on this fight? The former welterweight champion, number 4 in the world at welterweight, Jack Maddalena versus Conor McGregor. Jack's more of an orthodox boxer, not as fast twitch. That would have been a sweeter fight to me, and it would have been, I think, more competitive of a boxing match with 4-ounce gloves. I think Max Holloway is going to batter Conor McGregor.
On the other hand, Nate Diaz views the matchup from a completely different perspective. He sees it as a long-awaited rematch that fans have been anticipating for years and believes it will be far more competitive than their first encounter. In his view, both fighters have evolved significantly since then and now possess the ability to threaten each other equally, making the contest much more evenly matched and unpredictable than their initial meeting.
All right, and any thoughts on Max Holloway and Conor Part 2? Do you have any predictions on that fight that was announced today?
No, that's gonna be a good fight though. About time. Shouldn't they have fought a long time ago?
Yeah.
Their rematch, right?
Yeah.
That's good. And then, because Conor was taking him down the last time, and they both did good. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, Dana announced it while Francis Ngannou was walking out. So.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good fight.
Thank you.
As the analysis continues, MMA Guru sides with Max Holloway, while acknowledging that McGregor's added size could become a more significant factor if the fight reaches the championship rounds. Even so, he questions how McGregor will perform after such a lengthy layoff, particularly when required to maintain his timing, sharpness, durability, and overall effectiveness against the relentless pressure and intensity of elite-level competition.
I'm going to go towards Max Holloway, and I'm leaning towards Max Holloway, but I don't know if, McGregor's going to at least have 10 pounds on him, dude. He has put on a lot of size. Is that a recipe for disaster for him if this does go into the later rounds? Yes. I'm talking about a McGregor fight in 2026. I'm breaking down a Conor McGregor fight in 2026, dude. I actually can't believe I'm saying these words. We're so back. The White House card, Strickland beats Chimaev. If only Yuri wouldn't have fumbled it. Yuri, you fool. It's all good though, man. We're so back.
MMA guru expects Conor McGregor to come out aggressively against Max Holloway, relying on his early sharpness, explosive power, and ability to create danger during the opening exchanges. However, he questions whether McGregor's added size and lengthy period of inactivity will remain sustainable as the fight progresses. While he acknowledges McGregor's potential to make an impact early, he ultimately favors Holloway's relentless pace, proven durability, consistent output, and superior endurance to take control over the course of 5 rounds.
It makes it interesting in the later rounds because McGregor's put on some big size and he's been inactive. And of course his calf is going to be a target for Max Holloway, although that's not something that Holloway typically does. It's not like a weapon of his that McGregor has to watch out for. And McGregor's going to have a lot of power at 170 though on the other side of things. And Holloway just had a lot of momentum snatched away from him by Charles Oliveira. And this is very quickly announced as well. Like last week this was rumored and then now it's official. And I feel like that's by design from Conor McGregor. Maybe Holloway was hearing about some things, but this doesn't really give Holloway time to think about adjusting to 170. He's probably going to show up in 155 shape and just not cut the weight at all. I'm leaning towards Holloway, though. I don't think you can just dip in and out of this game. McGregor is really good, and he's going to be dangerous early, and it would be interesting and crazy if he does just chin Holloway immediately. Then we'd be talking. If McGregor's back...
That wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. The potential rematch between Conor McGregor and Max Holloway continues to divide opinions across the MMA world, with one side backing McGregor's power, experience, and early explosiveness, while the other believes Holloway's relentless pace, durability, and consistency would ultimately make the difference. Now it's your turn. Which fighter do you think comes out on top in this highly anticipated rematch? Share your prediction in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and stay tuned for more MMA news, analysis, and fight breakdowns.